Hello everyone and welcome to Precision Racing League's American No Assist Championship round number 13 in the Italian Grand Prix. I am MBR and I race for the Haas Formula 1 team alongside my teammate Pieboy. The track we're at is the Monza circuit, and this is a track with a lot of straights, so you're going to have to go for low downforce, which I am. My setup is 2 front wing and 4 rear wing. You can see that I compensate for the understeer at high speed by moving the weight distribution to the rear. That's something new I've tried out with my setup, is to have an oversteery car in slow corners and an understeering car in the fast corners. So with my set of tires on and my setup confirmed, let's go for the qualifying lap. So you're going to brake for about 50 meters or so for the parabolica. For your qualifying lap, you want to start it by running as wide as you can. Well, stay within the white lines because the bumps are going to slow you down. You want to get as much exit speed as you can for the first straight. And you brake at about just after the 150 meter mark. Take this corner in second. I dropped down to first just because my entrance wasn't very good. But you want to do both parts of that chicane in second. Now this is a curve at Grande. Just hug it as much as you can, but don't touch the curb. Now for this corner, brake at about 100 meters down to third. Jump over the curb. You can short shift to fourth to stop the wheel spin, but in that case it ended up understand. So the first Lesmo, you take it in 5th gear and it's banked. The second one you can also take it in 5th or in 4th. It depends on your exit. I think taking it in 5th is the better option overall because you're going to lose momentum if you drop down to 4th. Now for the Ascari chicane, again you're going to want to brake at 100 meters and take it in 5th or 4th depending on your entrance. And a little bit sideways, but you want to take the right hand portion flat and don't go too wide. I'm going to take some slipstream off this curb. I'm going to stay far from him. Anyway, so once again, you brake at 50 meters, and you can downshift as you're turning. This is the kind of corner that really allows an aggressive entrance. And then stay right for the shortest run to the line. And don't do what I just did, which was run out of fuel right before the line. But I'm still seconds on the grid. 2 tenths behind Dark Lull. I lost about half a tenth with the running out of fuel. But anyway, for the first front row start of my season, put the car in rich right away. It's an okay start, but Iceman, he just gets a much better start. So he's ahead of me before the first corner, and I'm not going to force the issue, so I'm just going to brake early and stay behind him. And the Dark Lull, he just goes off the track. I hop over the curbs. Accelerate and try to take as much of the slipstream that I can from Iceman. And there's my teammate, he's in 3rd position. He's far enough back that I don't have to worry about it. I attack from behind, but I just brake too late. Good thing I don't hit Iceman, so I'm going to cut this corner and keep my position.
Stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 24.9.
So that wasn't the official start of the race, actually. One of our competitors had their game crash right at the start. So going by PRL rules, we're going to do a restart. It occurred within 3 laps as pointed out by the rules for this track, as they apply to this track. So I'm just going to take the fastest lap and then quit. Alright, so now it's the wheel start. Same position. It's a little bit better start, I think, compared to Dark Lull. But Iceman is alongside this time. I'm gonna fight back as much as I can, but I go too deep and we're bumping a bit. My guy puts his hands up. So my teammate is much closer behind me. Not close enough to make a move on me, I don't think. I brake for the second chicane, but I have to cut it. I oversteered the car on the entrance, braked too late. So down to 4th in the first res mode because we're high on fuel now. A little bit of oversteer off of the second res mode, and I've got a good exit.
Okay, copy that.
But I'm just not close enough to make it the move on this car. Just tell my engineer to be quiet this race. And that wasn't a particularly good exit with the Ascari chicane. So I was saying earlier about this track being low downforce because it has lots of slow corners. The high downforce can make a huge difference for you in the Ascari chicane because you need to make fast changes of direction. When I was practicing with a higher downforce setup, I could get up to 4/10 faster. But I was losing so much on the straight, it just was not worth the advantage. So I ended up with the setup I currently have at the moment. And once again, I'm braking too late, or maybe my brake balance is too much forward, but I get a corner cut for that, and yeah, that's deserved just because I made the mistake on the first lap, and it looks like the game gives an allowance for that, and I should have learned my lesson. Yeah, and my hand goes down to move that brake balance. So our positions are being consistent, the top three, like the gaps between us. Though I did lose a bit of time going off the track in the second chicane, which means I'm not scoring the fastest lap this time around.
0.9 seconds. You're losing around 0.3 a lap. They're on fresh super softs. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:24.4.
I'm asking my engineer for the gap because I'm hoping I can be within DRS range. It doesn't look like it at the moment at this gap, but a purple first sector is definitely going to help my chances with that. Not taking the chicane like that. The second chicane's a tricky one because you want to touch the curb to rotate the car, but not too much, and that's what happened to me in that case. And I was probably barely avoiding the gravel there, but I just not close enough to make to even get DRS on Iceman. But it looks like he's got DRS on Dark because he's pretty close there. I say the setup for this track, you want a car that can oversteer at low speeds if you can help it. So try and adjust your suspension to have the rear end stiffer than the front end, and so you can hop the curbs and rotate the car. Even if your suspension isn't like that, just hitting the first curb of the first curb of the chicane, like I'm doing here. Not as much there though, but you see how fast I can, turn the car through there and keep the car steady. So yeah, that's my advice is, don't be that aggressive, but that's just how you're going to have to master Monza. It's all about the chicanes. That's where the time is gained and the time is lost. So crossing DRS detection line here, I'm going to see about getting DRS on this straight, and I'm not. And it's not the case for my teammate either, because he's even farther behind me than I am to second place. So it depends on your entrance to Ascari whether you can take it in 5th gear or 4th gear. Like if your turn-in is too late or you left your braking too late, you're going to have to drop to 4th just to help you rotate the car for turn-in. and I get a touch bit of oversteer when I'm going through the parabolic corner. So I'm adjusting my differential as I'm driving. What I've done differently for this race is that I originally had 2 buttons on my steering wheel that would control the fuel mix, so I could adjust it when I'm driving. But I'd rather put that to the differential, so like if I'm exiting this corner and I feel the differential is not right, I can quickly change it for this following corner. And I find that, yeah. Oh, never. Oh, that's not going to help my chances of getting DRS. But yeah, and I find that adjusting the differential a lot in the races really helped me be comfortable. I need a clean race considering how my season's been going for the most part. The gap between me and my teammate has widened, and I'm not close enough for DRS and Iceman. In a case like that, downshifting to first gear might have been the way to go for the first chicane. I heard there were plans. I read there were plans in 2017 to remove the first chicane and put a chicane in the middle of Curva Grande, but that didn't. Looks like that plan is not going to happen. And well, the first chicane is actually my favorite chicane of this track. Like if we have to have chicanes, then make them like the first one, because it's just long enough, it's just sharp enough, and as you can see in real F1, it leads to people positioning the car in the first chicane to take advantage of an overtake going into the second chicane, and you don't need DRS for that, because it's all about just getting the fastest exit. So with Parabolica, it depends. You can take it, say, sharper and not run wide on the exit in order to make your line to the finish line not as long, or you could go wide and maximize your speed coming out, which is going to benefit you later on at the end of the straight. So now we're on the pit stop. I come in the pit stop at the same time as Iceman, and hopefully I'm going to have an opportunity to close the gap if my pit crew can do a fast pit stop. And while they do a fast pit stop, Iceman's also do a fast pit stop. I'm just waiting, and now I'm allowed to turn off the pit limiter and go for it. My teammate has not pitted yet. He's alongside me. And we touch. No damage, hopefully not. We're just alongside for the time being. I have the faster tires, but he has the inside line. Well, the inside line for the next corner, at least. He's not even in my mirrors, that's how close he is. Oh, but he's gonna back off. At a time like this, I appreciate the help that he's giving me, since I have the faster tires at the moment. It's something that as teammates, we need to notice when we're in a situation where we're holding up our teammate.
Go get that podium.
And my teammate's he's encouraging me to go for the podium. He's usually been the one going for the podiums, but this time I'm in the stronger position. He hasn't pitted yet. And speaking of pit stops, Dark, the leader, has pitted in this lap. And that's him at the top of the mini-map right now. Looks like Iceman has closed in on him, but it's just not close enough for an overtake, and he maintains his lead. So the top three are still the top three. Yeah, Curva Grande is not much of a corner anymore. The second chicane is much different than the first one because it's not a combination of 90-degree corners. Your line is basically a diagonal through there. And so what you need to do is hit the first curb and try to avoid the second curb because you're going to want to start accelerating at that moment, and you want to like keep your acceleration smooth. Like you don't want to lift off while you're doing that. And it's really troubling to get that right because you can crash easily, or you can get a corner cut and the penalty as well. So for this race, I'm going to be just taking it easy through the chicanes. I mean, you saw my qualifying lap. I was going sideways in the second corner of the Ascari chicane, and I think that was what lost me. That could have lost me the pole position. But at least I got the lap instead of cutting the corner.
They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:25.4.
Now that I'm getting used to these medium tires, I'm starting to find a consistent pace, and I'm being consistently faster than Iceman is. The problem is that I didn't put in enough fuel to run rich the entire way through. And so this is going to be that's just going to be an issue for me.
We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:25.4.
Fortunately, I don't have to put the car in lean mode. I just put it in standard a bit because being in standard actually saves me fuel. So I just alternate between rich and standard. I only go into lean in the pit stop because you might as well save all the fuel you can since your car's on autopilot anyway. And when you're at 80 kilometers per hour, you know, that's the thing you think of first.
Okay, gap ahead is 2.4 seconds. You're gaining by 0.3 a lap. Good work. They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:25.4.
And this is encouraging. Closing in on Iceman. Taking that chicane very nicely. A purple first sector. Second place, not second place, in fourth position is Iceman's teammate, Megman. He's not close enough for me to have to worry about him yet. I just need to focus on keeping these laps cool and consistent. Front left tire, of course, is taking the most amount of wear. Even though this is a track filled with straights and slow corners, all of the fast corners happen to be right-handers, so your front left is going to take the worst of it. And unfortunately, in this game, we can't adjust the camber angle or the tire pressure for each individual wheel. It's just front and rear. I don't know about Curva Grande being hard on your tires, but think of the Lesmos, think of the fast part of the Ascari, and Parabolica, of course. All fast corners and all right-handers. And yeah, the challenge with Lesmo number 1 is not to take the apex too early because you're going to run out of exit when you accelerate out. It's a bit of a deceptive corner because you can't see all the way around it due to how, well, because, you know, the wall and the trees are in the way. I find exiting Ascari is to not go too wide, just because the curve's going to make you lose a lot of time. Yeah. Right now the car feels really good exiting the Parabolica. I don't need to be cautious in feathering the throttle. So I'm still keeping the same gap to Iceman. We're coming up to Lap's car at the moment in the first Lesmo, and he's just not helping me at all here. And I wouldn't expect him to get out of the way in such a short straight, but, well, he's making enough of a mistake that I'm just going to get by him right here. And, well, DRS is like a consolation prize, but I'm losing so much time here. I lost way more time. It's not going to bring it back. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to cut this corner, you know, to get back the time, but the game's not having any of that. So I get a 3-second penalty. So, well, to be honest, nothing much actually happens in the race aside from that incident. I have, well, just me trying to get around a car. He's within his right to get out of the way within 3 corners. I come up to this battle in front of me, and I'm choosing not to get involved in it. I just don't want to take any risks, because now this is the final lap. I'm not able to keep up with second place. I don't have the fuel to run INF engine mode, so I'm just going to take it easy. You know, stay away from this fight stay away from this fight and just end the race where I am. I don't want to potentially make a mistake trying to get around these guys, and because I'm just making sure I have more than a 3-second gap in front of Vega Man. I don't know if he himself has a penalty, but I gotta prepare for the worst scenario, which is he has no penalty and I have a penalty. But I do have enough of a gap to maintain my position so long as I just keep it, because there's only one more corner to go. I put the brake bounce to the front for a giggle, and it's not working out for me. Unfortunately, I didn't go off the track. But now checkered flags out. Dark Lords won the race ahead of Iceman. I'm going to cross the line in third, and we're going to see about those gaps if, well, it looks like I'm keeping fourth position. There's my teammate. He's coming around Parabolica. Not too much far behind, because he was on softs. I didn't want to risk the extra tire wear, so I went for the mediums like everyone else. I don't know about his lap times at the moment, but a fifth position for Pieboy is a good strong finish for the Haas team, in addition to our podium, of course. This appears to be the battle that I was just behind, but why is it that this Ferrari is a position behind the Red Bull, but he's ahead on the track? Oh yeah, and the 2017 Sabre looks beautiful. I find this amusing. This McLaren stuck in the grass, pumping his fist. And yes, it's third position. It's official. I'm keeping my position.
Nice race, Dark.
So the Haas team has scored
fight there.
yet another podium. It's now the second place, like my teammates in the last race.
Again, for some reason. I don't know why.
But I just like giving my team the podiums,
you glitch it again back,
and hopefully we'll make it to the top step.
I'm getting like 120 frames a second.
A top step
just like
and slash or a double podium.
Did that 3 times.
That would be great for our team as well.
Man, if I didn't get this speeding on the pits, I'd have 5 seconds.
You've been ahead.
So in third position with just one penalty.
You would have been ahead by .092.
No, I mean,
And then there's Pie Boy in 5th position. I dropped one
Oh no, I didn't serve.
from my
didn't
second
serve.
place on the grid.
Oh, okay.
So not much happened in this race, but from my perspective,
No,
it was
you and the
quite
leader.
exciting.
You're
Just
12 seconds from me.
keeping the lap times.
Plus 3 seconds.
Let's say I got 2, I only got 1.
Well,
It says you had 10
anyway,
seconds.
next race is Singapore, and that's quite a good, challenging track to race on. See you then.